Yep. All right. So anyhow, I'm just gonna talk more about standing against the evil, corrupt system. Standing against the evil, corrupt system. Okay. That's what my last two videos have been about. And so I'm gonna go more into this, I suppose. I really don't know where it's gonna go. And so, this is for my entertainment purposes only. That's why, I need to remind everyone that any and everything I say could be wrong. And that's why I always say, do your own research, come to your own conclusions. And anyhow, so we're going to talk some more about standing up against the corrupt, evil system. What does that even mean? What does that look like, right? Right? What does it look like? Well, nobody can really agree on what that means, can they? Can they? A buddy of mine, he kind of gets frustrated with the whole Jesus thing, and so we'll go into that a little bit, I suppose. So his frustration is that Christianity perpetuates all this evil beast corrupt system, and it deters people from actually doing and taking any action to stand up against the evil beast system. So, but then other people say that is the way you stand up against the corrupt beast system, is to follow Jesus, right? What does Jesus do? What does Jesus say? And that's the action, right? So who knows, man? I guess do your own research and come to your own conclusions, So yeah, I mean, I guess the dilemma is what do you do? And I I can talk about my views, like which I have the last two videos. The Matrix, there's another example of what you can do to stand up to the beast system. Right? Isn't that why The Matrix is such an important film? And so what does The Matrix say? Unplug. Like, you have to completely unplug from the system, dude. And again, who is doing that? Come on. Richie from Boston? True Stream Media? The Corbett Report? Crow House? Really Graceful? Stu Peters? Dustin Nemos? Styx Hexenhammer? Are these people unplugging from the system? Actually, those people are all doing the opposite. They're doing the opposite of unplugging from the system. And yet, their entire shtick is how we all need to stand up to the system. Well, they're doing the opposite. Like, they're participating in as many aspects of the system as they possibly can for, celebrity internet stardom. But they claim that they're different. They're different than mainstream media. They're not like those evil mainstream. Like, dude. So anyways. So here's the deal. Here's the deal with this. Like, see, I'm just I'm going to share my prideful opinion. Is that this is the truth. What I'm saying is the truth. You cannot affect change from within the system. So if you are participating from within the system, you are part of the problem. And so am I. Look at me. What am I? Here I am on YouTube, right? You and I are part of the problem. And so if we're part of the problem, what good is it doing to point fingers at everyone else and always looking outside of ourselves to blame any and everyone else? It's Fauci, it's Gates, it's Bezos, it's Rothschild, it's Richie from Boston, it's CNN, it's Fox, it's the Jays, it's always everyone else outside of us. Look at what they are doing to us, always. If you and I are participating in the system, we're part of the problem. And the reason is, again, this is my prideful opinion, is that you cannot affect change from within the system. You cannot operate within the system to affect change. You can't stand up to the evil, corrupt system by participating in it. And the quintessential stand against the evil, corrupt system is unplugging. Stop participating. And you don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. No one wants to do it. Why? Well, because that would mean I have to stop going to work to make money so that I can have nice things. Like there's my DVDs, these little comforts that I have. Here's a little TV. Here's some of my clothes that I like to wear. What little comforts I have is by participating in the beast system. Why do you think that in the Matrix, when Neo unplugs, it's like it illustrates the process of Neo unplugging as excruciatingly painful, where he's just this, like, come on, I thought the Matrix was what it's all about, right? See, you and I, we don't want to experience what Mr. Anderson had to go through in order to unplug. We don't want to have to do that, where we wake up in a pod and we look around and everyone else, we're all just vegetables in these vats. And then we have to get flushed down the toilet like Mr. Anderson in the Matrix did. And all the pain and suffering that Mr. Anderson had to go through just to unplug from the Matrix. Unplug means stop participating, dude. That means no more credit cards, no more home loans, no more nice cars, no more nice clothes, no more nice apartments, no more stupid job where you work at some high-rise building downtown. No, that means you wear prison-like clothes. Your living quarters resemble that of a prison cell. You eat cream of wheat goop 3 meals a day. You don't get to eat steaks and delicious foods and this and that. See, you don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. We don't want to unplug because we would have to go through what Mr. Anderson went through in the movie The Matrix. And unplugging, that is the quintessential stance in opposition to the system, the evil, corrupt system, is unfucking plug. Are you unplugged? Have you unplugged where you went through all this? No. Have I? No. Has Richie from Boston? No. Has True Stream Media? No. Has Dustin Nemos? No. Stu Peters? No. Any of these guys, have any of them unplugged? No. Yet all you hear constantly is all this lecturing is to how somebody needs to do something. So, and this is part of, I guess, where I wanted to kind of go, is that, see, once a person realizes this, it's easier to have empathy for others. It's easier to just kind of realize that the reason that people aren't standing up to this corrupt system is because it's impossible, or it's nearly impossible to achieve. And even if a person does, they're going to stand alone. There's not, it's not going to be this big group of this big mass of people in the world. You're going to be completely alone, And so once you see this for what it is, what it truly means to stand up against the beast system, once you can see it for what it truly is, you can start to have more empathy for people just in general that are just participating in this system, that aren't really, you can't do anything to stand up to this system. Kind of like, I love that also in the movie The Matrix, when Morpheus says, "I won't lie to you, Neo. Every person who has stood their ground has died." He says that, "I won't lie to you, Neo. Everyone that has stood up to the fucking system truly stood up, not just some fake, hi, I'm Richie from Boston. I'm standing up against the system. Hello, look at me, I'm standing against the system. Won't you send me money?" Fucking stupid, dude. No, but a person who truly stands, anyone who has died. They stood alone and they died. That's what Morpheus says to Neo in The Matrix. So why are people not standing up? Because nobody wants to die. And even if they did have the courage to do so, who would they be dying for? What would they be dying for? All these people that don't care? All these people that don't care, not only do they not care, they will fight to defend this very system. That's what I'm going to stand and die for, is all these people that don't give a shit at all. And not only do they not care, they're defending the very system. See? So you can start to understand why no one is standing up. Because first of all, what does it mean to stand up against the system? Once you actually look at what it truly means to take a stand against the evil, corrupt system, it means standing and dying alone. For who? For a bunch of people that don't care one way or another. They just don't give a shit, right? So who are you fighting for? What are you fighting for? And that's how bad it is. I think people don't want to look at how bad it is. To go on about how, making a stand against the system, a person that's really tripping out on that is they haven't realized how bad it's actually gotten. No one's going to do that, because that means quitting your job, and walking away from all this. House payments, car payments, paying rent, paying bills, walking away from all that. Nobody wants to do that. No, everybody wants to keep the comforts that the beast system provides. That's how bad it is. See, if you don't understand how bad it's gotten, if you're wondering why no one is standing up against this corrupt evil system, if you're wondering why you still haven't figured out how bad this has really gotten, And so really the best that you can do is try. You can try to unplug. You can try. Because again, that is the quintessential stance against the evil, corrupt system, is to unplug from it. And that means everything. Everything that you've been participating up until this moment right now has all just been beast system bullshit. Work, going to work, paying your taxes, all this shit that you do, it's all part of this. You work for the system. And the only stance against it is to stop all this. Don't do this. Reject it. Reject all this money, all this stuff. It's all bullshit. And I can repeat this over and over again, but ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss. People will just ignore what I'm saying. But then those people will continue going on and on, lecturing you and me and everyone else on how we all need to stand up against this. But they're not doing anything to stand up against it, except for LARPing, live action role playing, as though they're doing something, when they're not. They're not doing anything. They're bringing in 5 and 6 figures, doing some YouTube Richie from Boston channel, thinking that they're like, in this delusion that they're some superhero. There's some prominent figure that's going to go down in history as one of the good guys. Richie from Boston, really? No. Think whatever you want about all that. It's pure ridiculousness. Absurdity. Delusion. Live action roleplay. So I try. But I'm only willing to do so much. Again, I'm not willing to stand and die for the masses of people who don't care. I'm not willing to stand and die for them alone. Stand alone. Because who's going to stand with me? Richie from Boston? No. Dude, he benefits so much more from the system than I do. He'll never unplug from the system. He loves that when he puts up a GoFundMe, within a week he's got $50,000 in his GoFundMe. What if I put up a GoFundMe? How much money would I get, you think? Like none. $10 at most? Again, I'm not picking on Richie from Boston, because every single one of these guys in popular and trending are the exact identical shtick as Richie from Boston's. It's all the same. It's the Jays is the same as It's the Globalists. It's the Jays is the same thing as It's the Globalists. It's always us versus them. Somebody needs to stand up to the Beast J system, right? It's all the same. It's rebranded, repackaged. Same shit, different toilet, retardation. And Stu Peters, his whole shtick is that it's a J system and we all need to stand up against the J system. But what is Stu Peters doing? Nothing. Except for bringing in shekels from his shtick. His slimy snake oil salesman stick of how it's the Jays, and he brings in 5 and 6 figures a year doing it. 5 and 6 figures of shekels a year doing it. He's the equivalent of the rabbi spray painting the fucking swastika on the fucking, synagogue. And you know this is true. You and I, everybody knows it's true. That's how fake it is that everybody knows it's true. And the same with True Stream Media and all these other guys. They're fake as fuck. They're not gonna stand. They stand to lose too much by making a stance. All that internet celebrity stardom, TrueStream Media isn't gonna put that risk of that, put that on the line. It's just like the Hollywooders. It's all the same. But anyways, so I've been trying to unplug, but this is the best I could do. Where I live in this crappy trailer that's fallen apart out in the middle of the desert, out in the middle of nowhere in the desert, but I still go to work because I like to have money. I'm not willing to, you know what I mean? Like, I still haven't figured out how to completely unplug. You know? But see, all of you, like all these people that you listen to, Richie from Boston and all these other people, Jim Rizzoli, they look down on people like me. Oh, that guy's not, look at him, he's some bum that lives out in the desert, what a loser. See, they contradict themselves. They base the success of a person on the system, the very system they claim we should all be standing against. They use the system's barometer and measurement to measure, the quality of a human being, while simultaneously they're pure hypocrites. They're pure hypocrites. They would look at someone like me who's really trying to unplug, which means stop participating in the system, which means stop going to work, making money, using credit cards and loans and usury and all this stuff. Stop participating, or at least minimize it as much as possible. Do you think like Jim Rizzoli or any of these guys are minimizing their use of money? And no, look at Jim Rizzoli. Like, he lives in a fucking nice ass house. He's got the internet celebrity status of being popular and trending all the time. Like, dude, he's part of the fucking system. All these guys are the same. What are they really doing to try to unplug? But yet they're always talking about red pills and being awake and all this shit. And dude, they're fake as fucking. They're the fakest motherfuckers. Anyone who is truly making a stand is going to be alone. They're going to be some fucking person like me living in a shitty fucking 10 by 15 foot trailer in the desert out in the middle of nowhere. And if you stand, you're going to stand alone. You stand up against the beast system, you're going to stand alone. You're going to end up in some 8 by 15 foot trailer, barely scraping by, living out in the desert, out in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's going to listen to anything you have to say, because all they want to hear is Richie from Boston. Richie likes gold. It's all about the fucking gold, man. It's all about the money and property and prestige. Jim Rizzoli's property, this nice house he lives in. Jim Rizzoli's prestige. Look at him in popular and trending on BitChute. Jim Rizzoli's fucking bankroll. Look at how much money. That's how you determine whether a person is red-pilled or not, is how much money they have. But see, and these guys, they'll deny it. They'll be like, that's not true. But then they're always the same. They never, dude, they always look down on people with income like mine. All these people, they're fucking just slimy snakes, dude. They don't give a shit. All they care about is clickbaiting their fucking channel so that they can get more clicks, likes, views, so that they can bump their figures up. They want to get 5 and 6 figures a year off their channel, and they love the prestige of being in popular and trending all the time. And what do they have to say? It's the Jays. It's the Jays. It's the Jays. Look at me. Look at how important I am. I just say it's the Jays, and now I'm awesome. It's just the magic phrase. It's the Jays. Well, no, it's not the Jays. All you have to do is look at these people and realize it obviously can't be the Jays, because look at all these people saying this. They're all fucking retards. They're just like the lady in red in the movie The Matrix. Dude, that's what popular and trending is. On BitChute, Odyssey, and Rumble, all these channels in popular and trending are the lady in red on fucking the movie The Matrix. That's all they are. And then you and I, we see the lady in red, and we stop, and we're watching the lady in red, and then Morpheus says, "What were you doing? Were you looking at the lady in red?" Look again. And then Neo looks. What does the lady in red become? Hello? You know what the lady in red becomes, just as I did. What does the lady in red become? Say it. Let's all say it together. A fucking agent. Agent Smith. That's what all these people in popular and trending are, dude. They're fucking agents for the very system they're lecturing you 24/7 that you need to stand up against. It's all mocking the victim. All these fucking people in popular and trending that are lecturing you all day, every day, how you as a viewer need to stand up to the evil beast system, all they're doing is mocking you, the victim. You're the victim. They're laughing at you because they know you can't. You can't stand up. If you try to stand up against the evil, corrupt system, you're going to stand alone and you're going to die alone. Just like Morpheus said to Neo. It's like, I'm not going to lie to you, Neo. Every fucking person that has stood up against the fucking system, every single one has fucking died alone. Stood alone and died. And they know this. All these popular and trending cunts, they're just like the mainstream media. They're the biggest fucking frauds. They're the lady in the red dress on fucking the movie The Matrix. So I would argue, I could totally argue this. I'm doing way more to stand against the corrupt system than someone like Richie from Boston or any of these other channels in popular and trending. I'm doing way more. Like, I live in a fucking 8 by 13 foot trailer out in the middle of the desert, out in the middle of nowhere. In the desert of the real. Like, I'm trying to unplug because I know what unplugging truly means. It means to stop participating in the system. That's the quintessential stance against this evil, corrupt beast system, is stop participating in it. And all these people that think they can affect change from within the system, so they keep participating in it, they're all delusional. They really believe that you can affect change from within the system. And you know why they believe that? Is because they have less experience standing against it than I do. I have far more experience standing against this corrupt, evil system than anyone who still believes that you can affect change from within this system. By participating in it is how you affect change. They don't even, they're just another, these are the very people that we're trying to unplug. These are the very people we're trying to save. These people that think that you can affect change from within the system. They're still plugged in. It's a pipe dream. It's a pie in the sky bullshit fucking idiocy. That's what the system wants you to believe, is that if you keep participating in it, you can affect change. You can change the corrupt system if you keep participating in it. That's exactly what the system wants you to believe, so that you'll continue working for the beast system. Dude, I'm doing more just living the way I am in an 8 by 13 foot trailer out in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere, just barely scraping by, than all of these popular and trending channels combined. And I stand alone. I don't have a big fucking subscriber base and fan base and all this shit like all these popular and trending channels. They're the fakest motherfuckers, dude. So, and look, so that's the reward I get for standing against the system, is I get completely ignored and stand alone. And then when I listen to any and all these people, all they do is continue lecturing any and everyone on how they need to stand against this corrupt, evil system. But what are they doing? Are they doing more than me? Arguably not, dude. Arguably not. So anyway, but like I said, when you realize that that's the only way to stand against the beast system, you end up gaining a lot more empathy for people who choose to not stand against the beast system, is because, just like Morpheus said, I'm not gonna lie to you, Neo, anyone that has stood their ground has fucking died, stood and died alone. That's why people aren't, because they have children. You know, if they stand up against the beast system, how is that going to affect their children? They're going to lose their, you know what I'm saying? Like, use your brain, dude. Just use your brain for a moment. You know, stop listening to Richie from Boston and all these fucking slimy cunts. You're listening to them too much, and all they're telling you repetitively over and over in a subliminal message type format is that you can be like them. What are they? Oh, they're just operating within the system to affect change from within it. You can't. They know that you can't affect change from within the system. The only way is to completely unplug.